So I bought a lot of phones from eBay for $100, and already seems like it's off to a good start. But let's see what we can get. So there's already a lot of crazy phones, but I got this S9, and there's like 2-3 more in here, and look at this. Fully unlocked, completely working. Then we got an SE right here, but this one doesn't want to charge. I think there's something in the port. We have an iPhone 4 right here. It seems to be running a newer iOS. I can't tell if it's a 4 or 4S. And we got some old crusty Samsung right here, and it's an S5 right here. And this one saddened me. This is an iPhone 7 Plus, but unfortunately it is boot looping, so there's gonna be no saving that one. Another phone we got out of the pile is this S7. Unfortunately, I already turned it on and seems to be passcode locked, so I can see if I can do something about it, but more than likely can't do nothing about this. Sucks because very, very nice phone. One of my favorite designs from Samsung. All right, so ignore the S7. I got gloves on because some of these phones I just don't feel like wanting to touch. So there's the S7, unfortunately, doesn't work. Here is a very paint-covered Motorola stylus of some type. It's very beat up, but maybe I can see if this works, something like that. We have it looks like an Alcatel LG phone. This is a little itty bitty Nokia phone with some interesting numbers on the back. I don't know what that could be for. Now, flip phones wise, I got this Motorola. I believe it's a Razr, one of my favorite flip phones, even though I wasn't really around for them at the time. Like, this is just fantastic looking. I love the metallic keyboard. It looks so good. Unfortunately, I don't have any type of charger for this because, you know, this phone is old, so I mean, but maybe I can order one, you know what I mean? I got the Galaxy Express 3 loaded up. Seems to be on AT&T carrier. Let's see if this thing works. I mean, who knows? Maybe it could, maybe it couldn't. And it looks like it has been completely factory reset, so it is a working phone. It says it at 59%. Very interesting, because it just said it was at 22 when I turned it on. So this thing more than likely could have some battery issues, more than likely, but it seems to be working. Okay, so I've been looking around at the S9 for a little bit. Seems like it has not been erased. Looks like somebody used to work at some type of bakery or something. I'm gonna block that out, probably blur it out later on too, but that's somebody's iPhone number. Then we got, this camera sucks at autofocusing. We have some like stock picture, and seems like it's in a different language, probably Spanish. It's a picture of their home screen, interestingly enough. And then we got, it's like more flour tortillas, so they clearly worked at some type of like grocery store maybe, judging by these pictures especially. And then we got some pictures from like 2021. So I guess they used to be in some type of grocery store, baking store, and now, so they didn't erase their phone whatsoever. Seems like we got another S7. It looks like somebody already did some work to this because this has no labeling on the back. So, but it seems to be holding a charge. So let's just find out what happens to that. Right now I already have this S7 right here. I have this Express 3, which is working. It seems to be factory set, and then I have this S9. Next we got a iPhone 4 or 4S, I'm not sure. It seems to be running the newer iOS, and unfortunately it is passcode locked, but I mean I can see if I can reset it, but maybe not, I don't know. Here we have a Galaxy S4 Mini, but unfortunately this thing is light as a feather. It has no battery in it, but who knows, maybe I can just order one and it'll start working again, because this is in pretty good condition, so who knows. So right now I'm sorting out all the old and like crusty little flip phones that are in here and getting out some of the nicer ones. We found an S6. Here's the iPhone 7 that doesn't work, and we found another S9, so that's another really good sign. And we also found this Galaxy, I think it's an A11, but I'm not sure, but it looks really nice. All right, found in the pile, we have another Galaxy S9 that looks like it's in pretty good condition, so we'll add that to these over here and test them later. And in here we got, it looks like a 5 or 5S in here as well. Let me just put that over there. We have a bunch of like LG, a bunch of like kind of budget-ish type of phones, some unknown brands. I should not touch that. That's disgusting with my bare hand. Seems like, yep, we have a 5C right here. Okay. Charging up that other S7, and it seems to be turning on and working. Now we'll just see if it's passcode locked. Look at that boot screen. Ain't that nice? And unfortunately, it seems to be passcode locked as well. Let's just try the old method right here. Well, that's unfortunate. Looks like this would be another good parts phone, maybe, unless I can get it reset. All right, so what we're gonna do is more than likely I'm gonna just get this unplugged, ignore the messy bed, but yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're going to charge all of these less important phones, like budget phones and all this kind of crap. Let me get this out of here, add it to the flip phone pile, and we're just gonna test this, one of these and see if it works, and then we'll make our way up to the nicer phones up here. So I'm gonna start with, looks like an Alcatel LG and this Galaxy S5. Feels like it still has a battery in it, so let's start with these. This S5 kind of has like a weird metal thing around its charging port. Interesting. So this gave me a little thing saying to charge it more for a little bit, and so this is powering on. I cannot get this off, so I'm gonna have to find out later, so we'll just put it off to the side. All right, next we have a Alcatel LG phone, and we have a Nokia. I got excited and thought this was a Note 5 or something like that, but it turns out it is just a very gross J7V, and it feels light as a feather, so it probably doesn't have a battery or anything like that in it, so we're gonna have to probably get a new battery for this as well. Okay, so I had to unplug this because the bottom of this is like scorching hot, so definitely not going to do this phone. So this phone will probably be trash because this, I had a burning smell coming out of it, so we'll definitely not mess with that phone anymore. And we'll just leave these two charging and see what happens. More than likely on this LG, the battery is probably cooked, more than likely, judging by the fact that it got really hot really fast. So either battery's cooked or it could be a charging port issue, but that's unfortunate because this phone does feel pretty nice. Well, off to the pile you go. Looks like we had signs of life on the Nokia. It showed me a battery screen for about a second. Oh, there we go. Powered by Android Go. Yes, the kind of like budget version of a free operating system. Nokia. Oh, looks like we got some life from the LG as well. Just vibrated, so seems like it's trying to turn on now. I think these probably weren't charging because this phone was like overheating like insanely, so more than likely it was probably just messing up my charger ports. So I got this phone here too. It's very gross and crusty. I should not be touching this with my bare hands, so let me just wipe it off real quick. Looking a little bit better, but it's a Kyocera. I have zero idea what type of phone this is, and I've never heard of this brand before in my life. Wonder why they don't make phones that have chargers come from the top anymore. Those are kind of cool. Seems like we got some life from the Kyocera, but it is blinking on and off, so I have a feeling that this phone probably is dead or has a busted battery, which I wouldn't be surprised. This phone looks like it's as old as me, probably. Unfortunately, going on this Galaxy Express 3, it seems to be Google locked, so that's extremely unfortunate. But yeah. Also my fault. This is actually the TracFone logo, not the Alcatel logo. So yeah, so these and this and other phones like that, that's Alcatel, not TracFone. Seems like we got the Nokia turning on very slowly but surely.
Who's calling this?
Okay, so we have the phone. It seems to be in Spanish, interesting, and it's unlocked. Oh wow. And it seems to have this person's information on it because it's still in a different language. It has Facebook Lite, which I've never heard about that. It seems to be running like a stock version of Android, which, you know, is not surprising for these type of phones. Seems like whoever used this phone, it's just a bunch of like blank pictures, and then you go on here and it's just a bunch of screenshots of the home menu, so not too much things on here except just a bunch of blank photos and a ton of screenshots, which is very interesting. But other than that, there's nothing really else on here. All right, so the Nokia works, so we're gonna put her over here, and We're gonna trust another one of these track phone LG phones. Seems to be a little bit newer one, judging by the fingerprint scanner, I assume. Yeah, it's a fingerprint scanner because power button's right here. So let's trust this, and hopefully it doesn't try to blow up my charger like the other one did. Well, it seems to be already off to a better start. It's actually showing me a charging screen. So let me just put this to the side over here, just in case something starts happening. Charger doesn't feel like it's gonna explode. So let's find out. Okay, seems like every time I try to turn this Kyocera whatever phone on, it shows me a screen for about a brief second, but then it turns back off because I just did it. And yeah, see, look, lights up for a second, and oh, it seems to be working now. Oh, never mind, there it goes again. So unfortunately, I think this is stuck in a boot loop. Sucks because I really miss the era of light up buttons on here. Like, I think that stuff looks cool, and it also seems like our LG is turning on. This is looks like an older track phone LG phone. Nice music. All right, now let's see if she is locked or not. This phone's probably gonna actually take a while to turn on. Oh, it's vibrating. Seems to be, and unfortunately, it is passcode locked. Very unfortunate. Like I said, we can try the usual. And unfortunately, yeah, it seems like this will be another phone that could probably just be used for parts, unless I can try to reset this as well, but I don't know if I can, and I'm gonna have to find out how to. All right, so this old phone is just boot looping, so we're gonna put you in the garbage pile. Next, let's test this itty bitty little LG track phone with some blue tape on it. Get that off. This looks like one of the type of phones that they probably like used to sell back like 10, almost maybe longer ago. These were like the budget phones. These were if you were broke and you needed a phone, this is what you got from, and you could get these from like the dollar store back then. Even being off the charger, this phone is still boot looping. Very interesting. Oh, I think it finally died. Oh, never mind. This got turned on pretty much immediately. Wow, I will say I really like that like little light up keypad at the bottom. That actually looks really cool. Look at this neat little charging screen. I like this one. Okay, so this itty bitty little Samsung or LG phone just turned on, and it is completely unlocked. It says Alan, so I guess Alan uses it. Says the service ended in 2018, so you know this phone's been out of service for quite a minute. Wow, this is an insane UI. This was like the bottom of the barrel phone back like almost over a decade ago. Like, this is crazy. Looks like we got like a picture of like a bird or something. Yeah, cockatoo. So I guess this person really liked taking pictures of the birds, and looks like a stock photo of some type of car. I think these are just the LG photos that the phone comes with, I believe. Yeah, there's a bunch of stock photos. What is that? 2017. Let's see. Looks like, I can't tell what that is. Oh, it's a bird. Is that a dead bird? Yep, it is a dead bird. That is kind of disturbing. And then somebody's hand. It looks like this phone belonged to an older person, definitely. So it's very interesting to look at. Let's cover that. But looks like they drove some decent looking cars. This has a neat little power off screen. I love it. We're gonna add this to the working pile. This is the locked one, but I will still add it to the pile because it works. Interesting charge off sound. Now we'll turn on this LG. Honestly, very nice looking phone. I like the design of it a lot. All right, we're at the home screen. Very nice layout. Let's see if this is unlocked. Oh, wow. And it sure is. Nice little booting animation too. That was really nice. Seems like this person must have been in some type of like firefighting service or something like that, I believe. Yep, judging by the pictures. And there's a picture of somebody down here that I'm not going to show, but it's them standing next to a fire truck. So I assume that whoever had this phone probably was... What does that mean? I mean, I don't know how old this phone is, but the camera is pretty dang decent. All right, next up, we're going to do this AT&T phone, a Weeko. I don't know what in the world that is. And this LG phone, take another risk with this LG phone. This seems like one of those back power button ones. Hey, ignore my cat. She is crazy. So we got this LG working. Unfortunately, it is passcode locked. We can try the all reliable. And unfortunately, that's not it. I already tried 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. And yeah, no. Okay. Well, what about vertically? All right. Well, it still seems to be working. So we're gonna add you to the working pile. Next, we got this Weeko phone, whatever it's called, and unfortunately, it's been sitting here for a while and it does not power on. So this is a dead phone. You can go in the trash pile. And next, we have this AT&T phone. I don't know what it is. It's completely unlabeled. 5 megapixels. Wow, such a huge number. Seems like this one's taking a while to charge. So in the meantime, we're gonna plug up this Alcatel One Touch by TracFone and this TCL phone with some tape on it. Also by TracFone. All right, so seems like this TCL is turning on. What's with this dang tape? But it seems like this TCL is turning on. Now let's try the Alcatel One Touch. It seems to be working judging by the light on the top. Just vibrated and seems to be turning on. And now this ancient 4G Samsung, or I'm sorry, LG phone, which for so far is not showing that much life, but we'll find out. I unfortunately think this one might be dead. All right, so we got the TCL. Let's see if this is unlocked. And sure, it is unlocked. And seems to be working perfectly fine. Seems like it's running stock Android. Slightly older Android, but not too old. See if it has any photos on it. Screen's a little bit dirty. It's gonna take a while to load. Here's an older phone. Keep your memories here. Larry Martinez. Okay, gonna have to block that out. And there's no photos on it, but someone's Google account is tied to this. All right, so seems like the TCL is functioning and working and is unlocked. So we're gonna add it to the working phone pile. Next, we have this Alcatel One Touch. See if this works, and sure does. Seems like somebody's information is still on it. Gonna have to blur out the Gmail just in case, and let's see if it's unlocked. And unfortunately, it is not it is password locked, but let's see if maybe the old trick works. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, it's one of these phones, so it could have a longer passcode. And unfortunately, this is passcode locked, but still functions. So we're gonna add it to the pile. And let's go ahead and turn her off. And unfortunately, this older LG 4G phone does not work. So we're gonna have to add this to the junk pile. So unfortunately, this J7V does not have a battery, so we're gonna have to add it over here. And same with this Motorola. We're gonna have to get another battery for this as well. So the next phones we're gonna be charging up is this LG G5, a Cloud Mobile, which I've never heard of this phone at all. I don't know what this is, and another Alcatel One Touch. So I got this Alcatel powered up, but it's showing me 9270 panic. I don't know what this means, but it does not want to get past the screen with this code on the bottom. I've already tried resetting it and it just keeps going back on the screen. So I mean, this one works, but it's probably bricked, so we're gonna just unplug her and put her in the other pile over here. Don't know if that's gonna turn off or not. So I got the Motorola plugged in. It does not have a battery, but unfortunately, it seems to be boot looping, so that's lovely. So I'm gonna have to unplug her and put her over here. So I guess we'll try this Galaxy J7V and see how it goes. It's been a minute. Sadly, this won't turn on, so I'm gonna have to put this in, probably just see if I can get a battery for it. All right, so we got the LG G5 turning on, and as you can see, it definitely has a nice chunk of screen damage right there. So, but it's still turning on and functioning. So we'll see if this is passcode locked or not. Oh, Sprint. Oh boy, Sprint. I mean, it has been around for a little while. Has like a live wallpaper, and unfortunately, it is passcode locked. Maybe. Unfortunately, it is passcode locked, and it just turned off on me. So it is functional, but it's passcode locked. So, but it definitely needs some fixing. All right, and it seems like we got our Galaxy S5 turning on now, and this Cloud mobile phone keeps on showing this low battery screen. I don't think this thing is holding a charge whatsoever, but the S5 seems to be booting up. Let's just see if it's passcode locked. It's on Verizon, and let's see if it has a lock or not. Probably take a while to turn on. And it seems to be completely factory reset, but it seems like the screen has some little burn or something like that. Yep, it seems to be perfectly fine. So this is functioning and working. So we'll unplug her and move her to the working pile. All right, so now we're onto the nicer phones. And first we have an S22. I'm kidding, this is my phone. But we first have another S9, an iPhone 5 or 5S, a looks like a Moto G stylus without the pen in it, a 5C, a Galaxy A11, I believe, another S9, and a Galaxy S6. So let's see how these function. All right, so it seems like we got our Cloud mobile phone finally turning on. So let's just see what this is all about. It's Cloud Mobile. I've never heard of this brand ever in my life. And our Cloud mobile phone it went straight to the home screen, not even any passcode lock or prompt or anything. So this doesn't even have a lock screen enabled on it. All right, so our Cloud mobile phone seems to be working, so we're gonna put it in the pile. And right now I have an iPhone 5 or an iPhone 5S and an iPhone 5C connected. Seems like the iPhone 5, it's been charging for a little bit and it's not doing anything. So that one's probably dead. And this one has been charging for a little bit, but it's still on this dead battery screen. So we'll check in with it later and see what's going on with it. All right, so next we got a Galaxy S6. So let's see what's going on with this one. Unfortunately, this iPhone 5 was a lost cause, and I think it might have some screen damage, but it wasn't turning on or even vibrating or anything. So now, while we're waiting for this S6 and the iPhone 5C to charge up, what should I do? I'm gonna tie the Moto G stylus. So this 5C, unfortunately, does not feel like, I don't think it wants to power on or anything. So, I mean, I might plug it up later and see if it works, but for now, it's not wanting to charge at all or hold a charge, even though it's saying to plug it in. One of the next iPhones we got is an iPhone SE. It seems the first iPhone SE. We got an iPhone SE. This is the first generation, so hopefully this works. I mean, because this SE is pretty much this iPhone 7 right here, but in an iPhone 5 shell. All right, so it looks like we got the Galaxy S6 turning on now. Oh boy, Sprint. It's lovely. And let's see, it is I think in Spanish again. Let's see if this is unlocked, and it is completely unlocked. Let's go. So looking on this phone, it's kind of like that S9 from earlier. It seems to be another like work phone, I assume, for a store. This says Hoy. I don't know what that means. And it says these are from 2014, but it seems like these are just stock photos of like cities and stuff. Look at this. Samsung had liquid glass before iPhone. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. This is going to go into the working pile because this is perfectly working and functional. Seems to have, oh wow, and it seems to have a bunch of pages that were open, and there's a lot of contacts and messages. This phone was, I guess, last used in around 2022, so it's very interesting. Next, we got the Galaxy A11 on. Seems to have a nice screen. It's got a hole punch display, so that's really cool. And now we got our Motorola stylus powering up right now, and it seems to have a nice hole punch display screen as well, so that's pretty cool. Seems like this must have belonged to somebody that couldn't hear that well, because this was the first thing that popped up when the screen turned on. Definitely seems like a phone that somebody disabled, mostly used. It seems like our iPhone SE is booting up now. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this is locked or not. And it seems like our Motorola stylus is completely unlocked. I gotta turn off this mode though, because this is a headache to use. Unfortunately, our iPhone SE is passcode locked, so that sucks. And it seems to be a 6-digit passcode, so I'm probably not gonna be able to get that at all. And unfortunately, this Moto stylus is Google account locked, so that sucks a lot. I will add it to the pile though, since it works. I will also add the iPhone SE to the pile, and hopefully I can get that fixed as well. All right, so last but not least, we have both these S9s, and we're gonna hook them up and see if they work. And it seems like we're already getting lucky with both the S9s right here. Alrighty, and here is the Galaxy A11. It's a cricket phone. Nice. And it has a really... Oh my god, that was loud. Seems like another phone that's in Spanish. Let's see if it's unlocked. And sure thing, it is unlocked. Sweet. So we got this phone on. Seems like this phone belonged to some farmer or something like that. Judging by all these, I'm gonna probably have to blur those out because this is all very personal information on here. But like, there's a picture of a truck. I'm gonna have to blur that as well, and a bunch of like plants and stuff like that. So yeah, and like I said, it's a nice phone. I like it a lot. So we are gonna add her to the working pile. And now we got both our Galaxy S9s turning on. Let's see if they're unlocked or locked. All right, and here's the moment. Here's the moment of truth. Let's find out. Oh, hold on. Moment of truth. Unlocked. And welcome to the new video calling dialer. What is this? I didn't ask for that. And it's unlocked. Nice, nice, nice. Shut up. All right, so these are all of the smartphones that work and turn on. Some of the passcode locked, some of them are not. Now these, unfortunately, like this iPhone 7, like this is a phone that doesn't work. This, it doesn't work at all. This doesn't work either. This one is just boot looping. And there's another LG phone that I had earlier that also does not work at all. But all of these phones you see over here are completely functional. Even this Moto G stylus, unfortunately though, it is Google account locked, so really sucks because I would have definitely tried to save this phone. And then my favorites out of all these are all these Galaxy S9s, which are completely unlocked and have zero issues and are working like they're brand spanking new. So now it's on to the flip phones. Let's see what works, let's see what doesn't. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to factory reset this Samsung, these Galaxy S7s. Unfortunately, even though we can't get information of these, it would be nice to see if we can reset it and see if we can get these working. As you can see, it is now recover booting, so let's see and wait what happens, or see what happens. So unfortunately, whoever's personal information on here is now gone. So that's very unfortunate, but it is how it is. And unfortunately, it's still locked to the Google account. So even after resetting it, it's still Google locked. So that's unfortunate. Ugh. So honestly, I wouldn't even see a point of resetting this other S7. So for now, I guess these can be really good parts phones, especially because they're in pretty damn good condition. So I'm probably gonna sell them off as parts phones, more than likely.
Yeah, the flip phones were garbage and not worth reviewing. Only like 2 words.
Sub please, Tiga.